Shut unit off and unplug from the wall. If unit is hardwired, turn power breaker off. If the unit is hot, allow the unit to cool off. Open and remove the doors. Remove all racks and wire rails inside the cabinet. Remove both the top and bottom flues on each side of the cabinet. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 6 screws that secure the top, and then remove the top from the unit. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 4 screws that secure the bottom access panels on each side, and then remove. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 8 screws that secure each side, and then remove the sides. Next, remove the 3 large insulation panels from each side. On the side with the air probe, cut the zip tie that secures the probe wire connection and disconnect the air probe from the extension wire before removing the insulation center panel. Using pliers, disconnect the wires from each heater. Cut the zip tie that secures the heater wire conduit to the cabinet. Also cut the water solenoid wire conduit zip tie on the left side and the float wire conduit zip tie on the right side. Using a 3/8 inch socket, remove the 2 nuts that secure each O-ring seal plate. Using a small flathead screwdriver, carefully pry each O-ring seal plate off of the cabinet. Using a 3/8 inch nut driver, remove the 3 acorn nuts that are securing each heater. Pull each heater up and out of the cabinet. Apply food grade RTV to the provided hole plate seal. Slide plate seal onto the studs where existing bottom heater hole is located. Using the existing 3/8 inch nuts and a 3/8 inch socket, tighten each nut to secure hole plate. Repeat process for each bottom heater hole. Pull back the top insulation on each side. Using a 3/8 inch nut driver, remove and save each of the nuts that secure the top hole plate. Using a small flathead screwdriver, carefully pry and remove the existing hole plate. Clean off any existing RTV that is on the cabinet. Using the provided hole pattern fixture, hook fixture onto the 2 front center flue lugs. Ensure that the 2 pattern holes are towards the center. Using a 1364 drill bit, drill out the 2 pattern holes. Next, hook the fixture onto the 2 rear center lugs. Ensure that the 2 pattern holes are towards the center of the cabinet. Using a 1364 drill bit, drill out the 2 hole pattern. Repeat procedure for the other side of the cabinet. Ensure that you clean out all the metal shards from inside the cabinet afterwards. Using a flat file, smooth the backside of each drilled hole. Apply food grade RTV to each of the provided 10/32 by 1/2 inch screws and insert in each drilled hole. Attach one of the provided heater clamps to the center bottom side of each of the new heaters. Insert terminal ends of the new heater into the top heater holes on the cabinet. Using the existing acorn nuts, secure the heater clamp on the bottom center of the heater to the existing bottom center stud and tighten. Repeat process for the other side heater. Attach the provided heater clamps to each heater next to where the new studs have been inserted. Using the provided 10/32 nuts, a Phillips screwdriver, and a 3/8 nut driver, secure each heater clamp to the cabinet side. Slide the provided O-rings over each terminal end. Push the O-ring down to where the heater comes through the top of the cabinet. Apply RTV to each of the O-ring retainer plates. Slide the retainer plate down over the heater terminal and into the retainer plate studs. Using the existing 10/32 nuts and a 3/8 nut driver, secure each retainer plate tightly. Wipe any excess RTV off of the heaters and terminals. Using a box cutter, cut a slit into the top insulation near each heater terminal. Pull the top insulation back down over the heater terminal. Remove conduit from the heater wires on both sides. Roll up the excess heater wires and zip tie together. Connect wire terminals to each one of the heaters. Tuck the excess wire roll up top. Zip tie the water solenoid wire and float wire conduit back to the cabinet. Reinsert the insulation panels on each side. Reconnect the air probe wires on the right side. Replace each side panel and bottom access panel. Replace the cabinet top, reinstall the bottom and top flues on each side. Reattach the doors. Replace the wire rails and racks. Plug unit in and fill with water. Turn unit on and test the heaters.